I've got 3 cruise news stories to discuss with you today. Our first story takes us over to the ultra luxury cruise line of Regent Seven Seas. They've announced the most expensive cruise room at sea, $25,000 a night for this beauty. And guess what? It's already selling out. Also, that new tax that we talked about, that Mexico tax, well, it is now in effect. I'm going to talk to you about how much and what it means for cruisers who are cruising to Mexico. And finally, let's discuss the shakeup going on over there at Norwegian Cruise Lines. Over 40 of their sailings had to be canceled and money had to be given back to passengers who were booked on these cruises because they're rearranging these cruise ships. I'll talk to you about that and lots more. Why don't we swan dive right into it? Well, hello everyone. It's Cynthia, your host. Welcome back to today's show. Well, today I have 3 cruise news stories to discuss with you, and we're going to just jump right into them. First, we're going to start talking about the new tax that's being given to all cruise passengers headed to Mexico. And if you think about it, I'm sure that's a large majority of Caribbean cruises, even Bahamas cruises, because they do head on over to Mexico. Well, effective July 1st, Mexico has implemented this new non-resident duty tax, this DNR, and this is a head tax on every cruise passenger that's visiting one of its ports. So beginning in July 1st, initially the fee will be $5 per person for everyone coming into Mexico. Now this tax is per port of call. So for instance, if you're going to 3 different Mexico stops, that's 3 different times that you're going to be charged this $5 per person. Now to most of us, $5 doesn't seem like a whole bunch of money. It's not like a big deal, but this will increase to $21 per person by the end of 2028. Let me give you some of the key details about this tax. This applies to all 24 cruise-capable Mexico ports. We're talking about Cozumel, Ensenada, Puerto Vallarta, and Cabo San Lucas. And this charge will be per port of call, as I stated earlier, even if you do not disembark the ship. Now, children and crew, well, they are exempt from this tax. And this fee will be just bundled into your cruise fare, so you don't have to pay it like as you get off of the ship. It's going to be a part of the cruise fare. Let me just give you a little perspective on, well, why does this $5 matter? Here's an example. For a family of 4 visiting 3 ports, they could pay $60 extra this year and $252 by 2028. Now the tax was originally proposed at $42 per person, but it was reduced after some intense lobbying from the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association. The revenue from this is earmarked for port security, environmental protection, and infrastructure upgrades, including things like dredging and pier repairs. Cruise lines warned that this could make Mexico ports some of the most expensive ports in the world. And some lines just may adjust itineraries altogether to avoid Mexican ports. So is this a smart investment in tourism and infrastructure? Or is this something that you think could backfire for the local tourism market in Mexico? I would love to know your thoughts about this $5 tax. Now, here's another something important to note. Right now, the tax is $5 per person, and as I stated, it will increase to $21. It's going to be $5 for the remainder of 2025, $10 in 2026, $15 in 2027, and then finally the $21 by 2028. I don't know about you, but me in particular, the majority of my cruises have definitely had Mexico ports and sometimes more than one. So this could really add up. I would love to know your thoughts. Are any of you sailing soon and headed to Mexico? Do you even care about this additional $5? You think it's a pretty good idea? I would love to hear your thoughts about this. Please do drop them down in the comments below. On to our next story. This takes us over to Norwegian Cruise Lines. Now, in this major shakeup, they have canceled over 41 scheduled cruises between November 2026 and March 2027. They say it's due to fleet redeployment. So let me tell you what's going to change. The Norwegian Breakaway was set to sail from San Juan, Puerto Rico, doing Southern Caribbean cruises. And the Norwegian Prima was set to sail from New Orleans, doing Western Caribbean cruises. Well, they've decided to swap home ports. That means the Breakaway will now sail from New Orleans, doing 7-night Western Caribbean cruises, which will include places like Roatan and Harvest Key. Prima will now operate out of San Juan, doing those Southern Caribbean cruises, hitting like the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, and the like. Because of this, of course, there are people already scheduled for these cruises, so Norwegian had to let them know that, sorry, your cruises have been canceled, and they're offering, of course, full refunds. And they're going to throw in a 10% future cruise credit that will be good all the way through December of 2027. These new itineraries, well, they will be open for bookings starting on August 8th of this year of 2025. And I was just curious, like I bet so many other people are, why the switch? The Norwegian Breakaway, well, it holds 860 more guests than on Prima. This will, of course, allow NCL to increase its capacity there, which makes really good sense because they just had their busiest cruise year ever there in New Orleans. The Prima is a newer ship, and it has lots of those next gen amenities, and it'll bring that fresh perspective, that newness over there to San Juan. The unfortunate part is that these itineraries and changes of ships, well, they really do hit the holiday market time, that Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. So many passengers who had booked these travel plans did it for the holiday season. Well, now they are scrambling, trying to figure out what their new cruise plans will be. We do hear that the itineraries that have been switched, they mostly remain the same, but there will be a few different changes. I don't know. Some people are very excited about this, and others, I'm sure not so much. Are any of you affected by this swapping of cruise ships on NCL? We'd love to hear your perspective. Please do drop that down in the comments below. I have just one more cruise news story for you today. Of course, I'm taking this time before I get there to invite you to subscribe to the channel. We would love to have you as part of the Right Recipe for Travel family. All you need to do is tap down on that subscribe button. And of course, I'm asking you to give us a like if you like the videos, and also tap down on that notification bell. That way you're notified first as soon as we drop a new video. Please do share this video with anyone that you think would be interested in cruising, cruise news, or traveling in general. All right, let's get back to that final cruise news story. This story is going to take us to posh land. We're talking about ultra luxury, the kind of cruising that the majority of us probably would love to do, and maybe not all of us have the financial means to do so. Well, let's talk about what it would take to get this ultra luxury experience aboard the new Regent Seven Seas cruise ship. I'm talking about the new Seven Seas Prestige. This will launch in December of 2026. Regent Cruise Lines has just unveiled the Regent Sky Suite. The price tag for this Sky Suite, $25,000 per night. You heard that right. But of course it's value for money, right? So let me tell you what you get for $25,000 per night. This suite is 8,794 square feet, and it is across 2 levels. You have a 3,700 square foot wraparound balcony, 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a private gym, massage room, sauna, and an in-suite elevator. It gives you access to the study, which is a private dining venue for up to 12 guests. You do get a personal butler, daily spa treatments, along with a chauffeur and a guide in every port, and of course, in-suite caviar to go with it. Also included is your welcome bottle of Dom Perignon and Remy Martin Louis VIII Cognac. You get curated pillow and linen menus. You have designer bath amenities and unlimited laundry service. So there is a lot that you really do. Now I'm smiling at this because of the price tag, but in truth, there's a lot that you get for that $25,000 per night. This brand new ship, the Seven Seas Prestige, is the first in a new class of ship, and it carries up to 822 passengers. It will be 40% larger than this previous ships, but they're only adding 10% additional capacity for guests, making sure that there's space and no one feels cramped or crowded on this luxury vessel. Now, this ship will sail 13 voyages in its first season, and it will include the Caribbean, Panama Canal, and transatlantic crossings. Here's the part, though, that I thought was so very interesting. When this came out, there was a booking frenzy for this ship and for this room. The ship is already sold out for almost half of the inaugural sailings. And Regent's biggest single booking day ever happened on June 25th when these bookings opened up for travel. $25,000 is a lot of money, but if you have it, this would be the ultimate cruise splurge. I think it would be bucket list, a dream. What about you? I'd love to hear your comments. Or of course, if you sailed on Regent, we'd love to know more. That is it for the cruise news today. I thank you so much for joining us. And of course, I'd love to have you following us on our Facebook page, and also check us out over there on TikTok. We have some really interesting, fun, and cool things happening there. Thanks again, and we will catch you at the next adventure.